What's going on, and welcome to the Stick Drift Podcast, a podcast for all things cars, racing games, motorsports, and more. Yes, oh my god, Josh, we're such big football fans. You
Football.
You watched the NBA. Wait, which one's the NBA? It's not the NBA, is it?
It's the FIFA European
what's
Championship.
The America football? America.
Oh, NFL.
NFL. That's the we watch the NFL. We're such big NFL fans.
The Northampton Football League.
Exactly.
Yes.
And in the NFL this week, we got a bunch of Super Bowl ads, which we will be talking about from a few different companies, as well as a bunch of big news in... You know what? I've had the idea for a segment name, but that's all it is. It's just a name, right? Hear me out. I don't know what we make this segment yet. Who cares? But the car in cares is a car.
That's such a bad name.
That's the whole idea.
Such a bad name. Like, sure.
And then if you want, you personally, if you want, you can call it Who Cars. Because
It's so bad.
But yes, today in motorsports, racing. Obviously, welcome back to the Stick Drift Podcast. Joined, as always, with me, Shid. Check out links in the description for both of us, and Josh, co-host of the Stick Drift Podcast. This is episode, we said we would forget, and we were right, I guess.
Yeah, this is episode...
It's one of them.
17.
Oh, wait, I think 17 was last episode. This
18.
is episode... Nope, you were right. You were right. This episode 16. Oh, my bad. Okay, no, you know why I thought that? It's because in the file naming system, I'm one ahead by mistake. And I don't know when it happened.
Of course you are.
And I'm not bothered to correct it. But I'm one ahead in file naming is why. But I don't know. But today in car culture, racing games, and motorsports, we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff, including the successor to the LaFerrari, how it's basically just a Lotus, actually. A couple different more cars spotted, all the different commercials that were in the Super Bowl. A couple of spotted while spotted. Speaking of successors, news on the Nissan GT-R 36, as well, obviously, because I believe a couple weeks ago we talked about how the final R35 was being made, and it was just like a slightly, like a brick.
R35.
It was like a bit more blocky looking. Other than that, other than the Super Bowl commercials, which will be a fair bit of it. Oh, yeah, some pretty big news. Rumors and big news on the Toyota MR2 making its grand return.
As it should.
Get this. Oh, is it not even EV? It's not even, it's a hybrid. A Toyota.
Suzuki don't have an electric powertrain. Suzuki make like 4 cars a year.
Suzuki EV. No, you know what? You may be right, actually.
They make the Swift.
No.
And then a bigger Swift. And they're both hybrid.
There's not a single... The only Suzuki EV is some goofy one that seems like they only made for a show. And then I'm just seeing Toyotas, basically. So... It's basically... yeah, so we'll get on to why Suzuki even matters in the conversation with a Toyota MR2 return. You know what, we can talk about that first then, I guess, if you want to jump the gun, Josh, okay?
I am jumping over the gun.
There you go. Well, the MR2, the iconic Toyota MR2, is making its return.
The second gen was iconic, the third gen is... Yeah,
which is,
it's the car.
What? Well, wait. Okay, this doesn't look like a... Never mind. I said iconic as like a... Maybe it is, and I was going to hope it was.
the third gen is that. That's the last one.
I don't
the second gen is the good one.
I don't recognize this car.
They are everywhere, but yeah, they are...
is the other gen this one?
That's the first gen.
There's the 2 gens. Whoa, look, whoa.
There's a second. There is one in between those two.
There's an in between. Oh, of course.
Mark II, Toyota MR2.
Toyota MR2 MK2. But this was as soon as I heard about this, I instantly thought you mentioned them doing something exactly like
this
way
the
back when.
freest money they will ever make in their life. Like, nobody makes small sports cars anymore.
Yeah.
And I imagine there's people who want small, like the smallest sports car in quotation what you can buy now is what, the Z4 or the Supra?
Ooh, ew, yeah.
Like, yeah, which is the same car.
Exactly, right.
So, like, no one makes them anymore.
But this thing is going to be making its return. I mean, what the? Oh no, I was gonna say the. I was gonna be an idiot there for a minute. I was gonna say the LFA, as if that's gonna cost, as if one that's gonna be small. No,
I mean, this is predicted to cost £28,000.
Well,
or US dollars.
Well, what even constitutes a sports car anymore, right? Because like the Z4, is that no closer to like an MX-5 at that point?
I forgot the MX-5 exists. This would be an MX-5 compare.
Yeah, the dinky.
I wouldn't say the
sports,
Z4 is an MX-5 compare.
Well,
it's a different class.
S2000. Do they make S2000s anymore?
No, they're for like 10 years.
Oh, have they not?
Well, that's what I mean. No one makes sports cars, small sports cars anymore.
Yeah, okay. Well, but there you go. Well, the MR2 should be making a return, and I believe this is most definitely just a concept image as a...
Yeah, it's not going to look anything like this. It's an amalgamation, cool. But it's a Toyota chassis with the Suzuki, with the turbo 3-cylinder from the Swift.
Yeah.
With a body from Daihatsu. So who knows what it's going to come out looking like.
So the backstory on that, essentially, if you boys know, you probably do, the whole thing with the Toyota... I was going to say Toyota BRZ for a minute. Toyota GT86 and the Subaru BRZ. The way those are made by both companies and also badged and sold by both companies. This is going to be a... and I think there's a third company in that, right? I think there's a third company.
Daihatsu. Scion for the BRZ.
Yeah, that's the one, right?
Scion went bankrupt, but they did make them for a short period of time.
But yeah, so this one will be that same kind of thing. This is from Autoblog. The grapevine originates from Japanese Best Car magazine, which states it's a triple collab between Toyota, Suzuki, and Daihatsu. Toyota owns Daihatsu outright and has 5% stake in Suzuki. So it's just Toyota and Suzuki, basically, then, right?
Toyota and Daihatsu. Well, Toyota and Suzuki. But
it's based,
what do Daihatsu even make?
I was going to say, I don't know the name.
They made the Copen. I know they made the Copen and a few, like, off-road... Yeah. And a few off-roaders. But apart from that, they don't exist in the UK.
Daihatsu. They sound like a East Asian market car. They look like East Asian market cars. It's the block cars. It's the old block cars. What is that? Oh no!
They made the Copen. Okay. That was popular over.
They made a Hagen one of those. What is this goofy remaster? But this thing. This was popular
The original was quite goofy as well, to be fair.
It couldn't have been popular anywhere.
It was. They're worth quite a bit now.
Oh no. See, now this is an MX-5 competitor.
They are tiny. Like, they are tiny.
Oh, it looks like you'd see Noddy going around in it. What even is that?
I think it was made to be a K car, but yeah. But we got it over here for some reason.
Yeah. So, incredibly, Best Car says that the price will come in about 2.2 million yen and 2.8. Normally, that would translate to about 22,000. God, how unvaluable is that yen? What?
The yen is worthless. Yeah.
God damn. So
28,000 USD, that would be pre-tax. So it'd be around 33.
Well,
but 33 grand for a mid-engine.
Is it 20?
Well, I'd assume the UI like 15, but
50. But
that's pre-tax.
You'd add about like 3 grand basically. You'd add about just 2.5 to 3 grand, 4 grand, something like that.
Plus UK. So
that is very cheap. Am I crazy or that's really?
That is really cheap. That undercuts the MX-5.
Yeah, which one, it's not gonna look like this because they don't want to spend a penny on R&D if it's gonna be. You know what? That might be it. It might be.
I think they're saving so much money because if you read here, it's using the suspension from the Yaris.
Yeah.
Suzuki have already got the engine made. It's the exact same 3-cylinder turbo from the Swift.
Yeah.
So they don't have to spend a penny on suspension or engine development. It's just body.
Yeah, yeah. Which, speaking of, everyone watching right now, you don't have to like this video, unless, now, what should you have a body of any kind. Now, this may extend, this is just anything, if you have anything below the neck. Now, again, you might not come under that category. At that point, roll away. We don't want you listening. But if you do indeed have a body attached to your head, now, apologies if it does include you, you do have to like the podcast. So leave a like on the podcast, leave a comment. What do you think on any of these topics? Comments that are good enough to read will be read, like last week with Josh getting called out. And of course, watch till the end of the podcast, and maybe watch it 1 billion times, because the watch time...
At least 1 billion times.
Unless it's against YouTube's terms of service for me to tell you to do that, in which case, don't. But you do have to like the podcast and do all the whatevers and whatevers. So, honestly, if it's just started, if it's only in the rumor phase...
There's no development though. It's gonna be a Yaris with a Suzuki engine, but it's just gonna be a 2-seater, like, you're gonna sit in the middle of it instead of the front like a hatchback. It's just gonna be a 2-seater sports car Yaris with a Suzuki engine.
Is gonna be one of the more interesting things, and if they're good, am I crazy in saying this could be kind of a cool car,
for that price,
right? Like,
if it looks okay, no matter how it drives, it will sell.
Like, that would be, you know what, that could be pretty cool. An MR2, which, it's that cheap. If it's at least slightly sporty, hybrid, it's gonna have either a Toyota, Suzuki, or Daihatsu badge, depending on which one you want. I mean, well, we don't know if they're gonna be...
Well, we don't get Daihatsu in the UK anymore, I don't think, and... I'd assume Toyota would want to sell under their brand in main markets.
I assume it might not be like the BRZ or the GT86, where there might not be the other brands' versions of it. It might just be that those other brands also make a car.
Suzuki need this. Like, I don't know how they're still in business. Like, Suzuki need this money.
I mean, I don't know, the Swift sells, right? Like, those...
A car company can't survive on one model.
Do they have SUVs? They must have SUVs,
They make a big Swift. Like, it's a crossover Swift is all it is. They make bikes, but they don't sell very many of them.
You know what? Looking at this Suzuki SUV, I was gonna say maybe I've seen them. If I have, it's just something that might, like, you know how your brain is trained to take blinks out? It's like that. It's like, it's gotten so used to seeing, it's so mundane. It's so bland that I don't think I can ever
make the Ignis.
Ignis these nuts.
Like, when have you ever seen a Swift?
I've seen these. I've seen the Ignis.
The new Ignis is goofy, but like, they make a car called the Swice.
That's a cool name, to be fair. What does the Swice look like? That is a really cool.
It's just a
am I crazy, or that's a Toyota?
It looks a lot like an older sort of Prius-y Toyota thing, but in a state.
That's just the that's just that, like, the mid between the most recent Prius and, like, the older Priuses. It's that generation. I was gonna say, because
the base model Swift is 15 grand brand new after tax.
Wait, Toyota owns 5% of Suzuki. I assume this is just a Prius.
It probably is a Prius. They just got rid of all the old chassis. They couldn't use it more. Like, you know what?
And you know, you make money, we make money. That just gave them the chassis, clearly. I mean, hey, that would have been a goddamn big amount of capital injection from an accounting standpoint, that is. Suzuki's doing stuff then, I guess. Do they make new bikes?
I'm amazed business.
Have they got
They do
bikes?
make bikes, but they've had to discontinue a lot of them recently.
What color are Suzuki's?
Blue.
Oh, that's not very.
But it's not Yamaha blue. It's lighter.
Yeah, Yamaha's supposed to be blue. Come on.
They make the Hayabusa still.
Looking at this, none of these look appealing. Like,
no
not
one,
a single one of these looks appealing.
The SV650 is too mumuch money now for what it is.
The GSX S950 is the only one I'm looking at here. Like, yeah, maybe that's a bike that, like, I could be, like, not scoff at, I guess, right? Like, the rest of them are pretty cringe. They all kind of bad. But Suzuki's still in business. Who'd have thought? You know what? They might sell in the East Asian market, especially with Daihatsu coming in on this.
I think they do.
Yeah, Toyota, Daihatsu, and Suzuki. I assume all of those are big East Asian markets, and they want more money from the West.
The car's going to rely on the MR2 name, really.
Yeah, yeah. Which again,
and Suzuki can't call it the MR2.
Yeah. At that price, and again, if maybe Suzuki don't sell their own version, at that price, if it does get to that price, because again, these are all rumors at the moment. If it's that price,
even if they get, even if they're $5,000 over projected thing, like that's a major percentage over what they want to.
Yeah,
it will still sell.
Like, yeah, it's still sporty. It's
literally the only option you have.
100%.
If it looks like this, like a really low slung 2-seater sports car, like even the MX-5 doesn't really fit that category anymore.
Yeah.
The MX-5 is more of a...
It's bulked up a little bit. It's got
it's
a bit beefy
quite
now.
tall now.
Well, also, I mean, the old MX-5s are massive. Like I've seen some of the older MX-5s. They're big cars.
The NBs were quite big.
Yeah. Honestly, again, it just really depends what it looks like now at this rate, because it's gonna do well.
If it releases like the concept image, if they just release this, for $28,000 or whatever it is,
like why not pick that?
They
up,
couldn't make enough of them. Like they would instantly sell out.
Because I mean,
that
even
opens
if
it up
to
literally anyone. Anyone could finance that car.
Yeah, yeah. And then, I guess the issue is eventually it would be actually dirt cheap, and then it will become just the really cheap, car.
If it's a good car, that's not really an issue.
Exactly, right, exactly. But from that, the MR2, God, that generation is
the
so
NC is a
looking.
jump scare. Like, well, it's just a square on a wheel.
It's like, so bug-eyed. Like, it's so bug-eyed. Which, speaking of bug-eyes, I saw... Well, not only did I see a Supra today, I saw a Mark V. It was blue. It was a Supra. There's a lot of goofy cars in Milton Keynes whenever I'm diddling about. I see stuff like a lot of custom cars. There was like an Audi. It was a newer Audi with like canards and like a spoiler and everything, and it was dropped. Like
I can already tell the kind of person who drives that is insufferable.
It was a new Audi too. I saw some.
None of those mods are declared, I guarantee you.
No, they couldn't be. They couldn't be. Oh, you know what? I've scrolled past this before I continue on that tangent. Can we just talk about how Grand Theft Auto 5 is just straight up committing copyright infringement now? Yeah. I suppose a bit of gaming news here. By the way, Motorfest. It
Motorfest, and then
now
the
we're
Motorfest.
set for the algorithm. Let me bring up my tweet. Which, to be fair, my tweet was just yoinked from you talking in VC. But
there's a load of body roll on that Alpine image.
Oh yeah.
Like that is cruelty levels of body roll.
There we go. This thing right here is the Alpine, the newest car in Grand Theft Auto 5. It's just the same car.
It's the IRO. They've laser scanned an IRO on it and just put it in game.
Oh, wait. They flipped the indent on the door. Do you see that? The door indent is flat at the top. Different. It curves in at the back. The one in GTA curves in at the front.
GTA 1 actually looks bad.
I mean, it kind of does, yeah. It suits the car a bit more. But other than that, it's literally just that and the eyes, the front.
Headlights. They've just continued the little scar that comes down.
They're sharper. That's all it is. It baffles me that they are able to get away with this. And someone said, like, oh, they probably don't care because they don't have a license. Surely they'd care. Who owns Alpine?
Renault.
Like, yeah, surely they'd care
the
when
French government owns Renault.
Like,
They'd like their money.
Exactly, right? Like, I don't understand how they get away with this. It's crazy. It must just be that the standard isn't there to sue game companies.
The second one person wins a suit against Rockstar for this,
yeah.
Everyone is suing.
Well, actually, not even Rockstar. It could be any company. Because
the issue with CarX is the devs are Russian.
Company,
There's
right?
no way they're getting touched.
Yeah, no, sure. But with stuff like this, it baffles me, especially them being an American company, right? It baffles me someone like... do they have Teslas yet? Do they not have Teslas? Any...
The Coil Voltic is a Tesla Roadster.
Oh, but I guess it's technically a Lotus, right? But what's it called?
Yeah.
I assume the rights to that are still Lotus. I assume if they really went 1-for-1 on an American company, especially Tesla, who aren't in any racing games, I reckon that's where the hammer drops. Because, like...
Yeah, Elon's the type of guy to try.
Exactly. I mean, what Top Gear gave a Tesla a bad review, and then they threw a strop for the last since then to never give Top Gear any cars anymore. So, like, they're definitely the type. Elon is the one to throw a strop if Tesla just appeared in GTA. Which I wouldn't be surprised if... Why? I mean, both situations could happen, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla straight away went to them, "You're not making our cars," or that they reached out to them because they're an American company and were like, "Can we like parody your car?" And they just went no, because like that's where the hammer drops. Because this is outrageous.
Well, it's like they got around it before because it wasn't like substantial amounts of the original source material.
And
it
they
was
were
changed.
named stuff like
this would
Vista.
qualify a substantial amount of original source material.
Yeah,
it's the same car.
It's the exact same car. Like, if they... I can't imagine if they did an Eleanor in GTA, because...
the Eleanor thing's been settled now.
Oh, yeah. I saw... Well, I guess we can talk about that, actually, as well. I literally, on my cycle today, I watched the Legal Eagle video on it.
Legal Eagle sounds like an interesting account.
He's like the lawyer guy on YouTube. He's like the main guy who does law stuff on YouTube. But yeah, what's it called?
A funny name.
I watched his video on it, and we can talk about that on this one. We've got more stuff to talk about in car media on this episode of the podcast.
How did Alpine stay in business?
I don't... They make like one
I've
car,
seen
right?
two.
It's just this car.
They make this car. I've seen two in my whole life.
You know what? I know how they stay in business. One guy at Renault really likes Alpine. Is how they stay in
Renault must
business.
love Alpine.
Yeah.
Because Alpine has its own F1 team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a pretty good looking car. It's a pretty good looking car. I'm not gonna lie.
It's 71 grand.
It's a bit of a sportier version though, and not for 71 grand.
It starts at 71. The sportier version, I imagine, like 110 or something. But yeah.
Okay, the back's a bit cringe because it doesn't loop back in. It stays out.
That's not the 70 grand one.
Yeah. It's a unique. It's like a. It's like a LaFerrari.
It's a modern version of the old A110.
Yeah, it's like the Atlantic, the LaFerrari Noir, EV110.
The old one looks better.
Old Alpine, new Alpine.
If it didn't have goofy ride height, it'd be a much better car.
It's a kind that dropped-ish with like that is a rallycross build.
Well, you can see that cool. It was a rally car.
Yeah.
You can see like that is a small sports car. The new one's just kind of a big Renault.
I kind of like it. I think it's a good-looking car.
I like the play.
That's the name of the car. But yeah, it's kind of cool. If they put it in like, I don't know, EV or something, which they probably will do. Give them like 10 years and they'll make one
Renault
more.
will use it as a test platform for EV development.
Yeah. Which we'll probably sell, right? Because again, it's got the heritage, which is this being the remastered or whatever.
I don't think they sell as it is.
Yeah. But if you had one, it would be kind of cool, right? I would go. That's
sure. I wouldn't
cool.
pay 71 grand for it.
I guess. But the Rockstar just committing straight up copyright infringement. Ain't that?
It looks good in orange. I'll give you that. The orange one looks good.
There you go. But like this one baffles me. I tweeted it. It's shocking.
Well, they've done it. The R8 now is the new R8 they added to the game. Is just.
It's also kind of scummy recently as well, right? Because they just sort of stole some concept.
Rockstar are getting way too bold. Yeah, they stole concept arts liveries with no. Didn't even ask them. Just straight up stole them.
Yeah, which is not the
And I feel like they're getting too bold with their copyright infringement.
Again, I assume if... they probably have European divisions, but I assume because, again, Alpine's French, they don't really care. It is notable to note that
Rockstar hate the French, confirmed.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, they haven't really gone fully after any American companies just yet.
Imagine if it was a British-owned company. That'd throw a fit. If it was a British government-owned car company.
Oh, like, yeah, British government-owned, sure. Oh, yeah, 100%.
They'd be crying. They'd be like, USA, you can't do this.
Asterisk, British government-owned, asterisk, politicians have stake in that company. They would, they would be all
Fortunately,
over
they sold
that.
all our car brands off to the Europeans before
like India owns some of them, like Japan owns someone, or like whatever.
The Mini was stolen from us. And,
yeah, all we got is what, like Aston and McLaren, I think, like something like that. Bentley's probably still British.
Bentley's owned by Volkswagen.
Oh, the bloody Germans, not them again.
Yeah, no, everything was sold to Germany. Everything.
Oh my god.
Lotus is owned by an Indian or Chinese company now. McLaren, I think, can still stay afloat.
I heard a take that was Germany won World War II because we buy their cars now, which was a fun.
Well, we sold everything to them. I don't get why.
Yeah, it was our fault. It was our fault. But then again, the UK, pretty dumb. Pretty dumb, right? Pretty dumb.
To be fair, our cars were quite tragic in the 90s, so...
Yeah, we're paying the French for half of our electricity.
There's a reason nothing made by British Leyland is still around.
Yeah.
And the only reason Mini exists is because it was the only good IP they had when the Germans brought it, so...
But speaking of copyright infringement, as well as, if I can get an image of it on screen... What car was it? It was a Shelby. Speaking of copyright infringement, Eleanor, a landmark case, I would say, I guess. It depends on the appeals and everything. Movie...
Why does it look so bad in that image?
It really does. To be fair, I think it just kind of... I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it just kind of always looked bad. I think that's just what
no, you're right. Yeah, it does look awful.
Yeah, I think
what are those proportions?
I think this was just a bad-looking car the whole time. I don't know.
Why would you want to recreate this?
Exactly. But there was a movie with Nicolas Cage that I believe was a remake of a different movie called Gone in 60 Seconds. In the original movie, I think it was a Mustang of some kind. But the iconic car in the series was Eleanor, named Eleanor, and it was this, a Shelby GT500 customized and named Eleanor. And what ended up happening was, I think the guy who made the movie, I think he passed away, I might be wrong here, he passed away, and his wife is really trigger happy with the copyright, is I think what happened. And the biggest story from this was not only the smaller recreations, but a YouTuber who started making a GT500. It was some other Shelby engine in a GT500 body, called it Eleanor, and that's all it was. Is that he just said the name Eleanor in reference to this car, and he got cease and desisted, threatened. It was essentially a slap lawsuit, which is a lawsuit just to inconvenience someone, and they claimed the car. In fact, Shelby tried to sell a bunch of these cars, and they went after Shelby, and I believe won the first time, I'm fairly certain.
That's insane. Imagine suing Ford Motor Company and winning.
Exactly, right?
Over this.
It's over a bad-looking car.
What judge would go, what judge would entertain this case?
Yeah.
Just a car.
So I believe Shelby were getting specific parts and selling them as Eleanor parts. You know, they were selling a car as the Eleanor version of this car, which is an interesting thing, right? Because it is a Shelby GT500. So who gets the rules there, right? Who gets the Like,
yeah.
I don't know, if SidWaj is in a movie and I'm wearing an Adidas
They could have called it the Ellen
right?
instead of the Eleanor.
The Ellen, yeah. Which, to be fair, given GTA, they could probably get away with. But yeah, so they were incredibly trigger happy. People didn't like them for it. Forza Horizon 5 even did a whole thing, a mission where they joke about that fact that they're really goofy with the copyright on it. And very, very recently, the case was revisited. Because every now and then, Shelby just starts selling them again. Because they're funny, basically. And then they
I'd assume it was to get to this point where it's like, well, if we keep trying, we'll win one of them.
yeah. And
more like I can't afford that.
What ended up happening very, very recently was, well, in this very case, was that the judge was like, hey, you kind of over-exaggerated that this thing is its own character. Because stuff like the Batmobile, that's copyrighted. That makes sense, though. It's the Batmobile, right? It's like, not only does it have its own name, but it's got its, like, features and stuff. And it's got things that are recognizable. You know, the DC sued a guy making Batmobiles way back when. And that's when the law came into effect. That even if a car isn't alive, you can still copyright it. But the judge was basically like... the judge basically had to watch all the movies and go, these are kind of bad, actually. So, you can't copyright this car. And thus, the Eleanor suit has indeed lifted very recently, I'm fairly certain.
Yeah.
And now you can make as many Eleanors as you want, I guess.
I wouldn't advise it. It
but,
looks
you know,
quite bad.
yeah, they'd probably... I mean, they're basically going to be in Shelby's position now, where now they're going to keep suing till they get the win again. Obviously, they're probably going to appeal, but win for... Who's it a win for? I don't even know anymore. Like...
Not for my eyes, I can tell you that much.
Exactly. It wasn't even like a good movie.
The car looks better stock. Like, just make it stock.
Yeah. I mean, they're the only car, other than the Batmobile, which did it a while back, they're the only ones that kind of do this, right? Like, I don't think Fast and Furious will go after you if you recreate
imagine
those.
someone, like, imagine suing every Brian Supra that ever exists, or whatever it is.
Video game companies don't, Fast and Furious don't, Need for Speed, the movie, doesn't. All that budget that they have to sue.
No one's made a Need for Speed movie car. I'm sorry, but...
You don't know that.
Yeah. No one's done that. No one. And if they have, they deserve to be sued out of principle for that. Like,
yeah. But yeah, it was the only car company, car media that was going around.
Why does it have
this.
two massive rear vents as if it's a rear engine? Like, it's not. Where are those vents going? The boot. Like,
yeah, you know, you might have
need to cool
meats.
the milk on the way home. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, you don't want warm milk. Oh my god, it's actually like a bad-looking car.
It
like,
really is.
I'm like.
What is the stock? What year GT500 is that?
I think it was made to look like a 67 or 70. I think it maybe was a 67, but was made to look like a 70, something like that.
Does the stock one just look bad anyway?
And also, the car wasn't even consistent. Like, it wasn't always a Shelby, I don't think.
It has those massive vents stock.
There you go.
But it just has a lower front bumper and skirts. It looks so much better without them.
Yeah. But Nicolas Cage drove this one, though. Nicolas Cage.
Sure.
He's the... What does Nicolas Cage do? What has Nicolas Cage been in? Was it even Nicolas Cage?
He was Ghost Rider.
Gone in 60... What? I wouldn't expect you to know the movie Ghost Rider, I guess.
I've seen the TikTok edits.
Oh, there you go.
It's like me when chicken nuggets, and then it's Ghost Rider doing something.
Sounds about your For You page.
My For You page is good.
Oh, it was Nicolas Cage. He's probably done movies, I guess. At least one. God,
looks so sad in his Google image.
Yeah. I think he's one of those actors, like, who was the Die Hard guy? Him?
I can't remember his name, but he has been in other stuff. He's been in good stuff.
He's like the Die Hard guy, where he's in really bad movies, and then every now and then in an okay movie.
Bruce Willis.
That's the one. That's the one. Oh, Nicolas Cage was in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and other stuff. But back to the cars, I guess. And actually, sticking on car media, I suppose, some big stuff.
Refitment?
Oh, yeah, that is terrible. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, God, you know what? We can go from car media into the Super Bowl. So, we'll chuck in, the unnamed, yet maybe I could use this name on a different segment. Who cares? But the car in cares is a car. I'll make that logo at some point. Actually, I think I was going to segue onto this way back when, now that I think about it. I was going to say successors. Something to do with successing.
What?
Because not only this week have we had... I'm just rambling at this point. I don't think I've latched onto a single one sentence, right? Successors. Vehicle successors. That's what we're on. And we've had 2 this week because we have seen images of the LaFerrari successor. I didn't even know that they were stopping the LaFerrari. But
it looks like a Lotus GT3 car. It actually looks like a track Lotus.
Yeah.
It looks like the Hennessy Venom, the one that was the Lotus Emira, but stretched with a wing.
It's just a Lotus. Like, it really is just a Lotus. It'll probably be cool.
What makes it a LaFerrari successor? Like, I thought all Ferraris were just kind of
like it. They're just all Ferraris. Yeah, no. I don't think that... I mean, I did get a bit of backlash for my take on stream yesterday that was the Enzo is just an older LaFerrari. It
basically is. Like, they are...
exactly.
They were very clearly designed with the same thought process.
Yeah, it's the only one I can look at and go, that looks like a prequel to the LaFerrari. But
I can sort of see it in maybe the front.
Yeah.
If you get past the very Lotus square in the middle.
Yeah. Obviously, parts are
that
covered.
Wing has to be terrible for fuel economy on the motorway.
It's so tall.
It's an air brake.
Am I crazy or it's so tall?
It's massive. It's like a touring car wing.
Yeah. It kind of looks a bit goofy. Also, the back. Like, I just noticed the back. Why is the back so up? Like, the whole
You can see the vents. I'd assume it's to get... Because it's a rear engine. I'd assume it's for cooling. I think they're just making this so they can race this in the homologation series.
Oh, you reckon?
Because it looks... Why have the massive wing? Why have the air cooling? It's very clearly a race car.
Is that what they are? Is that one of the motorsports where you have to make a reel of the car?
Yeah, it has to be a version of a car you sell.
Ah, okay. Well, that makes sense, yeah.
Why else would it have a... It's not even a table at that point. It's an entire picnic. Like, it's just...
Like, it's insane.
Got the whole park as your rear wing.
It's like a... It looks really odd, is what it looks like. But yeah, the new LaFerrari. This is from Road and Track. More information about this thing is that I have no idea. There's just numbers. They have... The paragraphs are too big. I'm not reading big paragraphs. You know what?
Sure is a car.
Can't make me read big paragraphs. Oh, wait. Hybrid, something to do with hybrid? It's probably going to be hybrid.
It will be a hybrid. Yeah.
I mean, even though Ferrari has the Italian go ahead and not follow the rules. So, you know, there's that thing. But a more interesting successor is... the Nissan GT-R 35. We don't really have an image of it because the only one is a concept. But the Nissan GT-R 35, the only few things we have confirmed about it is to set return as a hybrid. Nissan have hybrids, right? The Leafs are hybrid. The Leafs are Nissan. Am I crazy?
The Leafs are Nissan.
Yeah, that's the one. And
it's an EV, but...
Yeah. Oh, is it? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
From CarWow, yes, set to return as a hybrid, could retain the 3.8-litre V6, 800 plus horsepower, likely, which, like, what does that even mean? Or does that just mean that they're saying it'll probably have it,
It'll be an R30, if it's retaining the same engine from the R35, it'll be an R35 with a motor on the rear axle that makes like 200 more horsepower.
And 150 plus pounds. 150 plus
150 quid.
150,000 plus pounds. I can't read today. Electric assistance could up power beyond 800 horsepower. More aerodynamic design. I mean, duh, I guess. Revised suspension.
I'm gonna make a less aerodynamic car, aren't they?
Yeah, they just go, oh, actually, we're gonna make a brick on wheels this time. I mean, it's the GT. It's gonna sell. It's a Nissan GT series.
How many
right?
brand new R35s do you see about?
No,
well, they're not allowed to sell it in Europe anymore.
Oh, are they not?
No,
well,
it was too loud.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, this one's gonna be hybrid,
it had too much tyre noise. It was tyre noise. Is what
was it tyre noise? How do you?
They didn't bribe the European Union because there's no way everyone else gets away with it.
Tyre noise? How does that work?
I don't know. The European Union just didn't like it, I guess.
What, do you fit different tyres? I'm so confused. How did
it needs like quieter tyres.
Quiet. There's a pun there somewhere, but I can't get to it. There's a pun with quiet tyres.
There's no way a Bugatti qualifies in this.
No, that's odd.
Nissan just didn't want to pay.
But yeah, 2 successors. They'll be probably maybe good, but maybe bad actually. You know,
it will be bad. No one buys an i35.
I don't know.
There's a reason they're 30 grand used.
Oh yeah, true. But this is launching at 150, and it's gonna be new, and like maybe it'll be like.
Why would you pay £150,000 for a GT-R?
You say that as if last episode we didn't talk about someone buying a Mustang for 500.
That was America. America doesn't even count.
Well, this is probably America's second Ferrari, though. So, you know,
America's Bugatti.
This Japanese car is probably America's Bugatti. You know, so you don't know that. But actually, to be fair, we had a big laugh a while back on the podcast about a statement that was America's Ferrari, and I put this in the filtered car news. Car and driver have again called the Corvette Z06 is an American Ferrari and then some. Which is just
like I can see like the mid-engine rear-wheel drive sports car, sure, but it's still a funny claim.
Maybe they just want that
if Lotus called one of their cars
British Ferrari.
British Ferrari. They're never at the end of it.
This is Britain's like, how much is Chevrolet paying them for this? You reckon
a lot.
They just want the EV brake? That's it.
Very patriotic, haven't they?
It's so here's the plan, right? It's so when it makes it to the EU, they get confused. They're like, this is Ferrari. They're still allowed to make EV cars. Wait, but this is America's Ferrari.
Ferrari, you've paid their bribe this year. Let's listen to it, bro.
And this is America's Ferrari. So so I guess they can also make it gas guzzling still or whatever. That's the plan. That's the strat, and that's what's gonna happen. But from there, I suppose we can go on to the upcoming car media, which a trailer for Drive to Survive has released.
And it sure does look like surviving to drive.
So I'd never heard of this before. It's just like
it's like season 5 or something of it.
Yeah,
so. It's just a behind the scenes of the past F1 season.
They just sort of treat the real F1 like a reality TV show, right? Or something like that. Yeah, they just dramatize it.
And that's why people don't really like it.
yeah. Wait, do they not? Is it? Whoa.
It's a very you like it or you don't kind of thing.
Ooh, it's the real Marmite of TV shows.
Like certain drivers and stuff, like just don't even bother with it. Like they don't give interviews and stuff for it.
Well, I was gonna say Max Verstappen was in the trailer.
Williams have rage quit essentially. Williams are making their own 2-part series because they don't get any screen time because they're that slow.
Oh, boo.
So they've thrown a hissy fit and made their own series.
Good on them. Wait, they better have.
But yeah, they're British, so yeah.
Exactly. They better have
no British bias at all.
Yeah, exactly. Williams good. Speaking of, actually, we saw all the new liveries. Whoa.
We also saw the new cars as well, to be fair.
Oh, did we?
A fair few of them.
Yes, we can talk about that in the Motorsports segment. But yes, stick around for the Motorsports segment because we'll talk about all of the Motorsports. Motorsports Monday. The segment's filmed exclusively on a Saturday and uploaded on a Sunday. It's actually got nothing to do with Monday. Who knew? But From there, that is coming out. We also got a release date on the Gran Turismo movie, which, while I was looking up, that has, like, a cast. That's got, like, people in it. Am I crazy?
They really are really trying.
It's got, like, names I've heard of. Orlando Bloom. He's done things. David Harbour. He's also done things. And then, someone from Guardians of the Galaxy's in there. It's gonna be like a movie. The release date is August 11th. So, I guess we'll watch it for the podcast.
Oh, is it direct to streaming services or is it cinema?
Oh, I'll actually see. I have no idea.
I mean, because I can drive now, so I could go watch
oh my god, yeah, Josh has a car now. Woo! He's not getting scammed or whatever. He actually bought he actually bought a Z06 because he liked the marketing so much.
No, I brought a mirror. I brought Britain's Ferrari.
You bought Britain's Ferrari. You bought Britain's Ferrari, of course. I have no idea. Will it have it feels like something that would go straight to streaming. Like
Sony. Sony likes where would Sony direct to streaming it?
They abandoned their Sony Movies Plus or whatever, right? Because they had that, I think, and then that.
They're on Paulo.
Yeah.
I think it will be cinema. I reckon it. We're like for a week until it gets no views, and then they'll just give up.
Will Gran Turismo ever come to PC? Ew, that's the video game.
Ew.
We don't talk about video games. Have a theatrical release. I don't think. Okay. This isn't a thing anyone cares about enough to search. Will hit cinemas on August 11th, so it will be going to theaters.
August?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's a while away still. Are they making a game with it? Is it gonna be a tie-in?
They're making a game with it. No, of course they're not.
It's gonna be a tie-in video game. That'll be epic, actually.
It's gonna be complete. I think it's just they're using the Gran Turismo name for
it's just gonna be like a racing movie.
It's a generic racing come-up story.
Yeah, which, to be fair, before we go on to the Super Bowl commercials, I watched Ford vs Ferrari this week.
There were probably Fords and Ferraris.
There was Fords and Ferrari. In fact, I think they even said Aston Martin at one point. Pretty crazy. I think that's because the Shelby man won in an Aston Martin team or whatever. He won the lemon race. He won it in an Aston Martin. But pretty cool. Ken Miles, never heard the name before. Now I know the name, and it's like pretty crazy what they did to him. Pretty cringe, actually, I'd say. Ford GT, pretty cool car. Spoilers, obviously.
In the race
for Ford vs Ferrari. Spoilers for a race that happened in like the 80s or 90s or something.
Just in case anyone was planning on watching like the 1960s
in case you
Le Mans race.
Exactly.
64, whatever it is.
Yeah, in case you were going to watch that. I was curious about one thing, was that whether it was licensed or whether they actually had to get like a yes from Ford and Ferrari, because they make both companies look really bad in their own ways.
And it's sort of a documentary, isn't it? So I'd imagine, would you need a license for that?
Because they're all because
it's just retelling true events.
Yeah.
With a Hollywood spin.
Obviously, yeah.
Because they make the Ford GT go like Mark 5 down the straight.
Yeah, they're all conventionally attractive as well, right? Because it's like you look at Ken Miles, right, and then you see he's played by Batman, essentially.
Yeah. I always like the thing where like it shows them accelerating harder, like as if they were just going a cruising speed, right?
They just didn't. Yeah. But whoa, it's Ken Miles, but Ken Miles, whoa. Ooh. Pretty cool movie though. Yeah, it had the guy who's been in the crypto scams recently, whatever his name was, as Shelby GT500s, which is his surname, of course. Ken Miles,
GT500, yeah.
Who apparently he won like a NASCAR race, some other race, and then technically the lemon race, all in that 1 year or something. And I guess again spoilers. So the way it happened and the way it worked was So, you know the image of the 3-4 GTs crossing the line at Lemon.
Yeah. And
it's like, whoa, because they're 4 GTs and they won it after the year that they lost it really badly or something. It was essentially that he was absolutely beaming. He was by far the best driver, absolutely nuking everyone, like 2 laps behind second and third or whatever, and they were both also 4 GTs. And what ended up happening was apparently the PR people didn't really like him. He was British. I'm fairly certain. Like,
yeah, I think he was.
Yeah, he was like I don't even know how to describe it. He's like someone from Birmingham. They call him Bulldog in the film, right? And that vibe, basically. And the PR people at Ford really didn't like him. The only reason he was racing, because Ford CEO versus Shelby lost a bet. Which, crazy bet, by the way, if this part of the story was true. On him winning the NASCAR race, they bet, if he won, he races in Lemon. If he lost, Ford got full ownership of Shelby America, which were, like, making cars at the time. Expensive ones.
Very low volume, though. Like,
obviously, yeah.
Like 20 cars a year or something.
Yeah. But, probably still very profitable, though, obviously. Because they were all, like, the handmaids or whatever. And apparently they were just doing a thing where they wouldn't actually sell the car. They just sell it to, like, 5 different people and then never end up delivering it or something. I don't know. It was a really offhanded section of the movie. And I was like, are they scamming people? Is that what's going on? Well, Matt Damon would, clearly. But, the PR people didn't like Ken Miles. So, he was racing. He was absolutely beaming, completely far ahead. And they go, we want an image, actually. We want to take a photo of all 3 of them crossing the line at the same time. Ken Miles threw a strop by setting the lap record and then actually did slow down. But, technically, because someone with the surname McLaren, which feels like a conflict of interest, you can't have the surname McLaren while you're racing for Ford. Come on now. Because he started the race further back, he technically won the race instead of Ken. So, like, that was the big, like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. He got scammed out of that. If that didn't happen, he would have won the 3 big races in the 1 year, I mean, I might have actually heard of him, right? But then again, I didn't know McLaren either. Well, I mean, I know McLaren, but I don't know. See, that's what I'm talking about. See? It's a conflict of interest. Pretty good film, though. Even though I kind of said the story already, it's based on true events, right? It's built in.
There's a lot of Hollywood in there, but yeah, events.
And it was a good. The acting for the beginning was kind of. As a child actor, and some of the lines at the beginning. Then it got better. Thankfully, it got better after that. But also during the week, we saw the Super Bowl. Well, we didn't see the Super Bowl.
We didn't, no.
Even though we are the biggest NFL fans.
I am one big NFL fan.
Exactly. There was adverts in the Super Bowl, which is basically the big thing. Which, how is that the big... Because, like, the World Cup's bigger than the Super Bowl, right? Like, that's... Yeah. Because I know that's one of those, like, top 10 statistics to scare Americans. That, like, the World Cup's actually bigger than the Super Bowl. But
well, it's almost if the World Cup covers the whole world and the Super Bowl is only the US. It's almost if it's gonna happen.
You would think that, But the Super Bowl has commercials, which are a big thing, and we saw a bunch of those. We saw a commercial for Porsche with a Transformers combined Porsche commercial. It was the character Mirage, who also happens to conveniently do the thing that Mirage from Apex does, which is create the decoys. Funny Apex coincidence. We saw, that one was alright. It didn't seem like too much new stuff. It was just him being like, I'm Mirage, and I'm one of those cool Transformers. You can tell, because I speak as though I am young. He's like Jazz from the first movie. Well, I remember being really sad that they killed Jazz, and then they never brought him back. They said they would try fix him. They never brought back Jazz. He was.
They can bring him back later though, because
Transformers Jazz. What car?
They'll use the Allspark and...
Exactly. He was... I don't even... Is that a Pontiac? It's a... He was a... What is that?
What is that? It looks like a... that has to be one of the last Pontiacs they ever made, because they went out of business, didn't they?
Are Pontiac out of business? I didn't know that.
So I've been out of business for ages.
Oh.
When was the last time you had a Pontiac?
The Crew 2?
Like they made like the Aztec in that, and they just died because they made bad cars.
A Pontiac Solstice, apparently.
Oh yeah, that is their end days.
Yeah, but he was cool or whatever, and we got Mirage this time around. There was also Super Bowl commercials. One that I sent you was by Ram, which was it was a big play. It was premature electrification. And the whole thing is essentially being like, are you worried? Car not big enough? Car not got enough power? And everything.
Car not big enough. It's like... such an American thing. Like, yeah. Oh yeah, my Ram 1500 pickup is not big enough.
Yeah.
What? It's 5 nautical miles long. What more do you need?
But essentially it was appealing to that. It was making the funnies. It was like, does yours... What even was it? Does yours not work? Are you worried it finishes too early or whatever?
Yeah, they're finishing too early ones.
And it was just those innuendos for the Ram pickup truck, the EV one that we talked about. It was the one with the big old hybrid.
Yeah, it's
EV
like the Ram 1500 EV basically.
Yeah.
It's just their pickup, but EV.
But other trailers we saw were also with GM Electric, which had a...
GM running an ad is so odd. I don't know if that's normal in America, but like...
Yeah. But it was
weird.
with a bunch of their things. It was GMC, there's a Hummer EV in there, there was a different pickup of some kind, a Cadillac. It was essentially saying, hey, we signed a deal with Netflix, and all of our cars are going to be in Netflix films now, which you'd think that would be the promo, but like, you know, but then they also paid $7 million
weird
for
things to advertise.
Exactly, right. It's basically just them being like, look, we make EVs, also they're in Netflix films now. Which again, yeah, you'd think that would be the advertising. Yeah. Instead of paying $7 million for a Super Bowl ad. The other car companies getting commercials were Kia, I believe. Well, Jeep is the one that was...
Kia's ad was bad. They should get a refund on their $7 million.
Yeah, I mean, Jeep did one. Theirs was pretty simple. It was the Jeep Rubicon was the one that they advertised, which it's fine. It's a cool-looking Jeep. I think it's better than the Wrangler, but the Wrangler's a really bad-looking car.
It really is.
It was essentially just... It was nothing other than just like a car. It was just a car commercial. It was just it driving around and pretty shots of nature, and it's I don't know if it's the name of the division, but it's Wrangler 4xe, as in 4xe instead of 4x4.
What?
It's 4xe. Which is really, really bad.
I don't...
And again...
Car companies do that, though. Like, yeah. They always just add E to the end of the existing model name instead of it called, like, the Citroen C4, right?
Yeah.
Why don't call it, like, the C4? Like, just CE4. Like,
exactly.
Instead of being called the Citroen C4E. Because you pronounce C, like, as C... But...
Yeah. And then, of course, Kia got one, which was to do with a guy leaves... Apologies, Americans.
Binky is such an awful word. Like, just remove it from your vocabulary immediately.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, it's so bad. I instantly clicked it and I was like, oh no, it's cringe.
His Kia SUV off-road, which no one has ever done.
He gets in the Kia SUV and then he goes... This is about to be so cringe. He goes viral for forgetting the binky or what?
What does bink like dummy make sense because it's a dummy, like it's a fake, right?
Yeah.
Binky sounds like a cartoon character.
But he goes viral, and they're making TikToks or whatever, and
it's so bad.
There's TikToks of people. And they do the thing in movies and TV shows where they make fake, like Miss Marvel. We watched Miss Marvel because just laughing at how bad most of Marvel stuff is, right? But they did the thing where they make fake social media posts, and it's people just being like, let's go I'm not even reading those. Binky Gate, get it? Who calls things gate anymore? I swear that's like
40-year-old execs.
Exactly. Am I crazy? Yeah. Or like no one under the age of like 25, 27.
Why do they use like found footage for their TikToks?
Exactly. And they've there's a top text, bottom text meme on there.
That's a banger though, I can't lie. Top text and bottom text is a good format still.
I don't think I've seen
if it was just me when Binky, that would have been a banger.
Yeah,
but
that's what I would see. I don't think I've seen an unironic top text, bottom text meme in so long. It's so bad. It's so cringe. And it's like
I'm never buying a Kia now out of spite for this advert. I hope that happens.
I want them to know it backfired. When they see that one sales integer drop down by 2, they're gonna go shoot.
Bankrupt.
We shouldn't have ran that ad. And then he's getting chased by the police.
What does this even have to do with Kias anyway?
I don't.
I'm sure he could have done this in any car. Like.
Yeah. It was so bad. It's cringe.
The word Binky doesn't help.
No.
It could have been anything else. Like, I don't know, he left the... I don't know, it would have been a bad ad either way.
Who watches that and goes, yeah, I want to buy a Kia now, actually? They paid $7 million.
That's what I mean. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Think about that for a minute. They paid... Wait, how many seconds was it? Because it's every 30 seconds is 7 million. I want to see... How long was this ad? It might have only been... wait, so it starts there, and then it goes on till about...
It felt like an eternity.
It really did. It's only about 30 seconds, I think. Yeah. 7 million. It's so bad.
I don't get it. Like, no one is going to buy a Kia after seeing that ad. What did Kia make? They make, like, the Rio. I don't know.
Yeah.
They could have just done anything.
At this point, I think Super Bowl commercials are just a flex. I think they're just a flex at this point. I don't really think they're to advertise it.
You could have advertised the high steal ability of their vehicles. I don't know.
Exactly, right? It could have been like, oh, I forgot.
They could have showed someone using a USB to break into their cars. Like, that would have been a banger.
Oh no, I forgot the Binky, but I also don't have a car. Which one should I steal?
That would have been that would have made the advert good.
And oh my god, I'm a marketing genius. Slogan, Kia. Kia cars.
I was going to say Kia, everyone wants them. But,
exactly, yeah. There you go. What they say, you've gone to actual brand mind there. I went for the pun. Is what's happened there. Oh dear, but that was
it was a bad advert anyway.
If we had to tier list those, Kia, bottom of the barrel. Rubicon, I think it was harmless. What else even was there? GM's was kind of bad because it's like it's nothing worth advertising. I'd say Kia worst, then GM. Rubicon was harmless, so I'll put them there. And then what was the other one? Oh, the premature electrification.
Oh, that was a banger, though. That's a banger.
That one and, I guess, Mirage can be at the same tier, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go. The official... You know what? They win the Stick Drift Award for best... for joint best...
Best
whatever.
Super Bowl advert of the year.
Of the year. There you go. Premature Stick Drift Award. There you go. And one thing that I was kind of wondering, and it's kind of worrying, do you think... Because we saw the Fast and Furious, right, commercial the last week. I thought about it on my way back to this today, right? Do you think that the budget is so... do you think it was supposed to be a Super Bowl commercial? Because it released scarily close to the Super Bowl. Do you reckon it was supposed to be a Super Bowl commercial, but the budget is that skint right now?
I don't think so. It's not really a place to advertise a film, is
I
it,
suppose.
really?
Apparently, the film is in, like, development hell, though. Apparently, they've had to swap directors, etc. Vin Diesel's always probably fun to work with, with how much of a goofball he is. Apparently, the film is struggling with development.
It's gonna be bad.
And I didn't notice it. People were like... A lot of the scenes look like people were... I mean, this is just a movie thing nowadays, but people were in different rooms and got green screened in, is what a lot of the scenes ends up looking like in the trailer. But, Fast and Furious. Hopefully... I'm not going to say hopefully good. Hopefully funny. And I don't mean funny as in it's funny. I mean funny... as in, it's funny to watch.
It's either going to be funny bad or just terrible.
Or just bad.
There's no chance it's a good, genuinely good film.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Yeah. Oh,
it's either going to be funny bad or bad.
Yeah.
One of the two.
But from there, we can go into the final segments of the podcast, and that starts off with the gaming segment, which today in gaming, and again, yes, I know I still don't have things for these. Maybe... Tell me to, right?
If you watched the thing 5 times, they might be.
I was gonna say, maybe stop telling me to. No one has told me to, so I haven't still. So maybe do tell me to, and I'll actually pay someone on Fiverr to make the thing or whatever. But this week in gaming, the Crew 2 this week is in Under the Radar Summit with the parts as the biggest reward, as well as an underglow and some spare parts. Which, if you don't play the Crew 2, doesn't make much sense. You're all from the SidWaj channel, you muppets, so you do play the Crew 2. Okay, you know what a spare part is. Forza tweeted the thing. In fact, I know there's one of the vehicles is a GT-R,
I went on Forza today, and I have no idea.
I was going to say, I was on Forza today, and I have no idea.
Like, I loaded it up, but I sure did play that game. And
yep.
I don't know what they're doing still.
Forza...
There's no new content, I can tell you that.
No, I think they're still in the JDM season. They've been doing a livery and photo op competition, is something that I think has been going on. I think. Because I think I messaged Vintage about it. I was like, how is this going on and you haven't done anything for it? Pardon me. Yes, they are in winter with the Gallant VR4 as the exclusive reward.
What?
Yup, the Gallant VR4. Which I've never even heard of that brand.
No.
Did I say Gallant? No. Like, who's Gallant? When I search it, instead of the car, the definition of the word is what comes up.
Gallant... Mitsubishi.
Is it? Oh, it's a Mitsubishi Gallant VR4. Okay. And then...
VR4 stands for Viscous Real-Time 4-Wheel Drive.
What? What?
I can understand viscous because it's really viscous coupled. But real time, like they wanted something that the R stood for. They're like real, real time.
Just go for racing at that point, right? Like,
well, like reflex could have worked there, I guess, because it could like react to the movements of the tires because it's viscous. But no, real time.
It's called the Thick Right Now, which is kind of funny.
Thick Right Now, viscous real time 4-wheel drive is a bugger.
Exactly. It's and the hard to find is the Toyota AT37. I don't know what the series reward is. Is it the Z? It's probably the Z or whatever.
Probably is. It's a car, for sure.
The Z somewhere. Yeah, Forza's doing whatever, I guess. Oh, big rumors in Forza, actually. Big rumors that the first update... Well, not... the next...
Second.
It's not gonna be the... It better not. It better not. It's not gonna be the map expansion, but apparently there will be a mini update themed on drag, with actual drag cars, right? Which will be kind of cool. Like, not even like...
because drag's super good in Forza.
Yay! And, I mean, not like, you know, just a normal car with a wheel bar at the back. As in, like, the cars that... They're like NASCARs. They just look like plastic. They're just like one big...
Oh, they've got, like, top fuel or something.
Yeah. I think the one image was of a... Forza drag. And also it's just them re-adding features. I was watching Ewan the other day, and it's like one of the missing features is the stoplights thing, but apparently that was in early footage or something, and then it was removed, and now it's gonna get added back because apparently that's a thing Forza do: remove stuff and then add it back with new stuff. Yep. But the there it is. I will send it to you. That thing is one of the concept arts, but it looks very concept art, so I don't know how much that's gonna go for the final stuff, right? Those
that looks fake. Like yes.
yeah. But yeah, drag theme season apparently, because driving in a straight line over and over again is something people enjoy for some reason. I'm joking. Some of you probably like drag because you're crew casuals. But next in gaming, Need for Speed.
Need for Speed added the and then they've got the and
then they finally announced and it's gonna have the. I can't wait. I actually can't wait. Like,
I love EA.
Oh, EA is my favorite company, and they know how to run a game long term. Like,
I am never, ever going to forgive EA for killing off Project Cars 4. I called it the second they brought Codemasters. I said they are going to kill it the second they get their hands on their Codemasters, and they did.
Yeah.
Like, the same day, they were like, Project Cars? and crossed it off the list.
You know what? They made the Hot Pursuit remaster, so they're in my good books for now. Well, no. I gave them so much benefit of the doubt for Unbound, man. Oh. And you say I'm a cruise shill. I was sat here being like, maybe Unbound will be good after
You've seen what they've done to Apex and Titanfall. Why? And like they've done it to every game franchise to get their hands on. Why would they not do it like
just like stop.
Battlefield?
Just
like what's it called? Right? Battlefield, Titanfall, Apex.
Oh, it's crazy. Like, just behave
the Star Wars
yourselves.
Battlefront games were gotten rid of. Like, they just kill every franchise they touch.
It's gonna be pretty funny that we are just gonna be. It's just gonna be that bit. It's gonna be this bit till March. Like, we've got. Wait, is it March?
To be fair, it is mid-Feb.
Okay. So we've got not long till the bit is over, and then the bit will be, yo, the update was garbage. Is essentially what it'll be. Am I crazy? Have they said anything about weekly content yet?
No.
Because that's what they need. Like, Forza, weekly
EA
content.
doesn't do weekly content. Name a single EA game that's ever had weekly content. They just don't. Name a single EA game with anti-cheat. But, yeah, they don't do weekly content.
1, the mod's terrible. 2, all of it's terrible. The game kind of sucks. The story, great. Everyone's finished it now, though.
It's the most rushed, unfinished game ever. But because the way EA works, the devs are never going to have time to finish it. Because the second they press publish, they're moved on to another project.
Exactly. I think half of them left. I want to say the creative director left when it came
Most
out.
of Respawn left because EA is a terrible company to work for.
I don't understand, man. Just like make a good game. Well, it's not even about making a good game.
EA value profits over anything else. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Sure. If they can make more money doing something one way, they will sacrifice everything.
I want to say, if Unbound released, say, around the time Hot Pursuit did, right? I reckon it would have been a pretty good game, right? Like, a campaign that takes you 2 weeks or so, and a boring as hell online, but the internet doesn't exist yet properly, so no one can complain about it, so you don't realize that you're the only one.
When did Hot Pursuit release?
Like 2012, maybe? Something like that. I don't know when Hot Pursuit released, actually.
I'm glad they're releasing mediocre 2012 games in 2023.
I honestly think 2010. I genuinely think if it released in 2010, maybe it would have been an alright game.
Whoa, competing with the big leagues there. 2010 games?
I mean, I guess they wouldn't have ASAP Rocky. Who would they have to have 50 Cent? Who was big in 2010?
I don't know.
I don't know. They could have had. Who's the guy?
Was Tupac alive in 2010, or was he dead?
Who was the one that had the game console?
Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy would have been a banger. They have Crank as the intro music. That would have been good.
But instead we got You Gotta Be Shitting Me. You gotta be kidding me. And that's the only bit I know of the song. It just does that over and over again. And to be fair, the line, it pays a cost to be the boss, that's in my head, I guess. Sure. If you win this race, you can have that big. Because he did like that. Every word there is the beginning consonant, and then just which is it's kind of funny. So some good voice lines. A$AP Rocky's in that video game, right? It had potential.
Yeah, it had potential, but EA exists. So.
And again, like
the same way Apex had potential, has potential.
Yeah.
Titanfall has potential.
What I can't
Battlefield has potential.
Exactly. No, it's just EA.
EA are a disease.
EU, am I right? Not
Code
the EU.
They killed Codemasters. They brought them for the F1 license and anything else.
Wasn't Rockstar gonna buy them? Like, that's why Rockstar
Yes, Rockstar put in a bid. They should have accepted it.
Yeah.
Rockstar would have kept Project Cars.
Because it just would have been, like, well, they've got, it's like Epic, right? They've got the expendable cash to just, like, buy a thing for them to go keep doing that thing.
Project Cars 4
right?
was solely being developed to be the best sim on the market.
Yeah.
But EA were like, good game.
Well, it was because Project Cars 2 was okay.
Project Cars 2 was
3...
a mediocre sim.
Yeah.
3 was an arcade race that no one liked.
Everyone
so
hated
like,
it.
oh, we'll double down on the sim aspects of Project Cars 2.
Respectable, right?
It would have been a better Project Cars 2 in every aspect.
Yeah.
A game that sold well. And EA killed it because they... I don't know why. Like, it was basically finished. It had been in development for 2 years. And
Oh no!
I like to think EA just walk around like an LMG in the office, and if anyone thinks about making a good game, they just get hip fired out of the building. Like it's just
Oh, it's kind of funny how the gaming segment does just default into EA.
Dirt is gone as well. They will kill Dirt as well. EA have brought Codemasters solely for the F1 license, and I guarantee you. They are going to kill Codemasters. They just won that license.
Josh's words. They will kill Codemaster.
I haven't been wrong so far about EA.
I mean, we've had the MR2. There was something else that you predicted, slightly kind of.
ZXR 400.
That's the one. EA. We're on it. We are on it with the prediction.
I saw the Project Cars 4 cancellation like a miles away.
Yeah.
I had a 10 times thermal on that.
Yeah. You know what? Right. I feel like it's weird. There's just a need for those games, I think, right? Like that one motorcycle racing game.
Name one sim game released in the past 10 years.
Yeah, like no proper ones.
No
F1's
proper
battle pass now. Right, like
F1's a sim guide.
There you go. F1's
a PC only, solely focused on simulation.
Yep. Is it
like
iRacing?
You got iRacing and a Assetto Corsa.
Like, yeah, and they're both like 100 years old at this rate or something.
If Project Cars 4 opened up to mods and was an improvement of Project Cars 2, it would have been one of the best simulation racing games on the market.
Yeah.
And EA killed it. They killed Slightly Mad. The entire studio was dissolved, by the way. Like, they moved every single employee of Slightly Mad Studios away.
Am I crazy to say, does EA make PGA Tour?
I guarantee you they probably do. They collect these licenses.
Because they've already got, like, a specific niche game that no one really buys, but it exists because it's in a niche. So why kill...
Yeah. If Milestone can exist making the MotoGP series, that's what I mean, that's all they do.
Like,
Project Cars 4 would have made money. Like, it financially couldn't have been a bad idea.
There's probably a video game for fishing, right? There's this weird thing. It's kind of nice that there's still wrestling games, right? Like, there's niche games that exist to exist in that niche.
But Project Cars 4 would have had a big target audience.
Yeah,
people want new simulation games, but they just keep getting cancelled.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Motorfest will be the best sim to release in 2023.
I'm on an EA vendor. I hate it. It's so bad. We're not even going to get a new... I guarantee you we're never going to see another Dirt Rally ever again either.
Yeah.
Like, EA have solely doomed Codemasters to fail.
Yep.
They should have accepted the second best offer. Like,
yeah. I mean, to really jump back to what I was gonna say with with Unbound being like Hot Pursuit, I think if it released around that time, like Hot Pursuit, coming around to now, it would have been a cult classic. Issue is, you don't really get modern cult classics to any degree, really, right? So it's like, which again, maybe it's a benefit of hindsight. I don't know. Maybe The Crew 2 is gonna be a cult classic in like a couple years, right? But like,
sure, you think that.
But the whole point of cult classics are like, you know, they're nostalgia tinted is what it is.
You got to release a finished game for it to be remembered for any good reasons. And EA are actually like, who is the CEO of EA? He's got an allergic reaction to making finished games.
The fact that Unbound
studios finish again. So.
Unironically, if Unbound never gets any weekly content,
But it's not going to.
Yeah, like, bless the guys at Unite, right? Like, bless the guys at Unite. Like, unironically.
It must be hard caring for the game.
It must be, right? Like, it's goddamn. But from the EA Rant segment, which is essentially just the EA Rant segment plus...
I am never, ever going to forgive EA for killing Project Cast 4.
Yeah.
They saw that, like, it would have been so good.
Yeah. It could have been the new Assetto Corsa. Whoa. It's the EA Rant segment plus maybe Crew 2 and Forza are doing something right now. But
Need for Speed, isn't it?
Exactly. From that to Motorsports Monday, the segment filmed exclusively on a Saturday and uploaded on Sunday. Some big news because all of the liveries have come around now.
Not all of them, like 5.
Oh, is it? Okay. F1...
the liveries aren't that interesting, really. It's because they're showing the new cars as well. Because the liveries are on the new cars.
Yeah.
And the Williams one is funny. I've just sent it to you.
Okay, let me look at
It's literally last season's Ferrari.
Oh, what? F1's Ferrari? Williams is F1's... is the UK's Ferrari, actually.
It's got the floor of the Red Bull and everything else of the Ferrari.
Yeah, I was going to say, is in the livery or the actual design?
The actual bodywork and
okay.
It's got Ferrari's front wing, like an exact copy. Like, it actually looks like someone's going around the laser scanner and copied their front wing.
Are they?
The side pods are the exact same.
I didn't know the liveries were... not the liveries. Are the designs different? I didn't know the designs are different.
They update the cars every year,
okay.
design-wise.
I thought it was like, like GP, not... The ones where they're all in the same car. I thought it was like that.
It's not F2. No, they actually changed the car. All of them have different cars as well.
That's what I mean, right? Like each team having a different car.
Yeah, each team has a different car. I'll quickly find
where are all
an image
the liveries? I saw a tweet of all the liveries, and I can't find the tweet of all the liveries.
Scroll up in Motorsports chat.
Is it there? Okay. Well, there's one that's a vote one, but it's like you can't see them very well. Scrolling up in the thing, it should be here somewhere.
There's loads of different liveries. You got the Mercedes. The Mercedes one is all black.
Is it the row of a few of them? So, we got Aston Martin, which is green. I'd give that a... Well, they got Boss, Aston Martin,
It's the exact same livery as last year.
Is this one the same one? See, this is the first time ever that I'm really caring about F1 to any degree. So, I wouldn't know. I'd give that, like, a... what even is that green out of 10? It's actually a really interesting green. Like, I don't mean that as a negative. That's a really... weird to look at green. Then we've got what is McLaren with chrome. No way. Cisco, which I recognize. We've got a couple other things. That one's kind of not good, actually. I mean, it's got blue and orange.
I like the wheel covers and the Google Chrome
colours.
Oh my
god, those are actually kind of cool. Yeah, okay. Those are actually pretty cool.
That's a banger.
We've got... I don't know who this is.
AlphaTauri.
You see, that would make sense, but
it's basically the Red Bull Junior team.
Oh wait, there's a Red Bull on there. How does that work? Because Red Bull's in it.
It's owned by Red Bull.
Oh, so then what? Seems like a conflict of interest.
Completely separate though. Like they're owned by them, but there's no cross at all.
So is there a story with this one? Alfa Romeo. Is this a thing? Because this
I didn't think they were racing as Alfa Romeo. It's Sauber Alfa Romeo.
Okay, so
Alfa Romeo are a title sponsor, but they paid a lot of money, so it's just called Alfa. No, they were the Alfa Romeo last year.
Okay. I mean, here I've got a side shot of all of the
That's
cars.
the team that's becoming Audi.
What, this company? So what is it going to be? Audi and Alfa?
Sauber Audi or Audi Sauber, or Sauber if they pay enough money.
Nuts! Yeah. 3 for 3!
Or if they pay enough money, Audi. I don't know if they're buying them outright or becoming a title sponsor. I'm not sure. But
also, a gambling sponsorship. Pretty cringe, am I right? Am I right? Pretty cringe.
They need the money.
Am I right, Twitter? That's pretty cringe. I think that's bad, actually. That's my take on this. I have the popular
All of the cars look the same this year.
As in the same as last time?
They've all either copied the Red Bull or the Ferrari.
As in the actual physical design of them.
Yeah.
Team Viewer. Is that Mercedes?
Yeah.
Well, it says AMG. That makes sense, right? Well, that's not an AMG. It's an F1.
It's just all black.
You got that. That one actually looks kind of cool. I kind of like that blue. I kind of like the AlphaTauri. I'm not gonna lie. Then we got that one. It's all right. The black and red on this one looks pretty cool, actually. I think.
Look at the Williams compared to the Alfa Romeo. Like they are the same car.
Yeah. I mean,
like all of them are the same car.
Yeah. Then we got Red Bull, which was the memes because Red Bulls all look the same. All they did was they had like the RB1314, then they put Oracle on the side, and now that's every single Red Bull.
Yeah.
That's basically how it's gone. And then Haas, these nuts in your mouth.
Haas's livery is terrible this year. Like, what is that?
What was the old one? Is it different?
All white. All white and red.
Okay. You know what? I feel like it's fine. It's kind of... I could see why it's bad. I don't know why. It gives me a Transformers vibe, is what it gives me. It feels like it's like a Transformer of some kind. I need to see the old one. Let me look.
Yeah, I just grabbed an image of the new one it's sending.
Okay. It's definitely not the best out of these, I'd say. Is there a tier list for these?
It's
tier list these?
Well, I'm not biased, so I'd rate the Williams first.
Oh, compared to this is 10 times better. What? Yeah,
old livery was sick, but
I like this.
Adds too much white, unfortunately.
Oh, is that actually a thing?
Williams stripped half the paint off their car last year because they were that slow and they needed to save weight.
Huh. That's kind
of Mercedes reckon they're paint stripping. They're having their car all black because all black because there's no paint on it. They reckon that's 1/10 of a second lap.
I mean, I guess it's how much is the sponsor paying, right? I guess it's how much is that sponsor's money worth, I guess. Because, like I was going to say, you could just protest, but get the sponsors, like, that big, and then just put no other paint on the car.
Well, the stickers don't really add that much for the sponsors. It's the paint of the car. Like, it's just bare carbon fiber, that Mercedes.
Yeah. Well, this one, yeah. It looks it. It's the only one that, like, doesn't really have a matte kind of feel to it. Again, I like this green. A crypto sponsorship.
I'm a mate. Why have they got Who's buying a JCB after watching Aston Martin come like 10th?
Oh my god, that's how fast my JCB's gonna drive! It's like how you see, perfume commercials or like aftershaves, right? It's like, do you want your boyfriend to smell like this? It's
Fernando Alonso posted a banger qualified against like third or something. It's like, I need a JCB. Scramble to the website, order 10 of them myself.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, how these work in general, right? Like, I'd be curious to see how much these actually help, right? How much do these actually
Santander? Who's buying? You can't buy a Santander.
Yeah.
It's just a bank.
Because it must just be like subconscious justification, right? Maybe if someone needs a bank in their brain, they'll, without thinking, think Santander.
I mean, Santander's red, so
yeah,
kind of.
See, it works. Shell is also whatever, right? But also, Aston Martin, crypto sponsorship in current year, pretty cringe.
I don't know what that sponsor on the McLaren rear wing is.
This one, right? Just a QR code?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's then they've got Hilton, like the hotel. That seems a bit specific. Dawar DP, whatever. Boss, I guess, sure. Flex.
Richard Mille sponsor. Oh.
No way. Richard Milley or whatever it is. Where's the there somewhere?
McLaren.
Oh, McLaren. That's the one.
I don't get Alfa Romeo staying in F1. Like, yeah.
We got Palme.
Williams have no sponsors compared to the other cars when you think about it.
The Williams looks really bad. I'm not gonna lie.
You've got Doralton is the owner of the team.
Yeah.
Apart from that, you've got Duracell. I think they're still sponsoring them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Oh, that's kind of cool. The Duracell's kind of cool, I guess.
It was cooler last year. It was actually like a match, right?
Like Golf's a thing, right? Golf, they're all those orange and blue cars, right? It's
but
like
you've got what 5 sponsors, not including the team owners.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is quite low.
If I had to rate them. Which obviously, my opinion is the final opinion in motorsports. Yeah. Like I say, Aston's gonna... Not Aston. I said Aston as if it was... You know what? AlphaTauri's gonna win. But...
I think the Alfa Romeo livery is quite good.
If I had to rate them, bottom, Haas. Not Haas, sorry. Williams, I'm sorry.
No, the Williams is better than the Haas in every single aspect. You can't tell me the Haas one isn't thrown together in 5 seconds.
The Haas is fine. It's just with the
just
context
put the money grab logo on the back. Like, what?
It's just the fact that the Haas was this, that it's a lot worse here.
All that to come 9th again.
I'd put the Williams last, the Haas second to last.
That's not very British bias of you.
I know. Don't worry, Aston will go high. Then it's a toss-up between Mercedes and...
Mercedes have a really tall rear wing. Compared to the Ferrari below it.
I suppose, yeah.
That's a lot more drag.
As well, right? Yeah. The Mercedes, then the McLaren. I don't know. It's joint third to last Mercedes and McLaren. Oh, you know what? Ferrari's whatever. Like looking at that Ferrari, it's such a non-livery. It's like, sure, that's a Ferrari livery. They can take 4th to last. Then, oh, you know what? Oh, Red Bull, they're somewhere at the bottom as well because it's basically just the same one. But the Red Bull livery's kind of okay. You know what? That'll get somewhere in like 5th to last.
It's boring. The Alfa Romeo really livery, you look at that and it's interesting. Like, it's visually interesting to look at.
Like, these 3 are pretty cool. Or I'd say, not these 3. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh my god, Williams was on screen. Oh no. These 3 are pretty cool.
Can't be this in 10th best team.
The green on the Aston Martin's pretty nice. I'll give that 3rd. Then I'll go, it's really close, but AlphaTauri and then Alpha. But they could go either way, they're pretty cool.
All 3 of those cars have the exact same rear wing and the exact same side pod design. Like, there's not even a little bit of variation. Like, they've just copy and pasted.
Who had the chrome rims?
McLaren.
McLaren, they get above whoever they're just below for those. Because they get 4th. McLaren gets 4th for the chrome rims. Only for the Google Chrome rims. Because those are kind of cool. Like, I don't like the rims on the AlphaTauri.
No, honestly. They go in the wrong way. Because you got to think they get them spinning, pointing side, going forward. Like, I don't get that. Yeah,
instead of going like speed effect.
I guess they're meant to be like throwing stars.
It's like a ninja star. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. But there you go. What else? You were saying a thing with F1. What else happened in F1?
I don't remember.
I mean, obviously, Drive to Survive or whatever.
Drive to Bad is going to exist.
Whatever else is in the F1 news nowadays. I don't know, though.
Not much, really. Hard to know. Everyone's copied Ferrari and Red Bull.
I was going to say,
I don't remember. A week after Drive to Survive comes out.
Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah. So, we shall see that, and Motorsports will actually have a more full segment. I
can talk about how Williams is coming last again.
Exactly. I will throw out there how...
Team prediction. Where do you think each team's coming this year?
Oh, okay. Team prediction. Williams, not last.
That is bold. That is a bold claim. They have made at the end of last year that Ferrari is 3rd best, and they've copied it without the R&D Ferrari has.
Yeah.
So it's going to be worse.
Last, Mercedes. I don't know who drives for them. Mercedes last.
Lewis Hamilton and George Russell are coming last.
Does he not drive for Ferrari? I swear he drives for Ferrari. Is that a thing? I could have sworn Lewis Hamilton drove for Ferrari, but sure. In that honor, Ferrari second to last. Then Haas third to last. We'll put.
You haven't put Williams yet, have you?
Oh, where is Williams? No. That podium.
Williams coming above Ferrari and McLaren would be a bad.
Well, that podium. Okay. In fact, McLaren third to last. No, wait. Haas was third to last. Haas is now fourth to last. They upgraded. They overtook last second. Then Aston. Alfa Romeo, Williams, AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri wins. Whoever drives
AlphaTauri is beating Red Bull.
Yeah, because they're the better Red Bull.
This would be a wild season. Alfa Romeo. Was it Alfa Romeo, Williams, and AlphaTauri? You said top three.
It was Alfa Romeo, then Williams, then in third, second.
That would be a wild tail fight.
That's what I'm talking about.
The three worst teams on the grid, essentially, all fighting for the title. I mean, they're all the same car, essentially. Williams has got a longer wing, but...
And if that ended up being the meta...
To be fair, Williams does actually have a unique side pod design compared to those two. It's got like a blob in the middle.
Exactly, see?
It's probably a terrible idea.
This one's thin, right? And like...
Well, I was talking more, you know, where like it goes across flat and then goes down?
Oh,
Most of the AlphaTauri and the Alfa Romeo have like a curve. This goes.
And look at the back. The whatever this thing is, the I don't know the camera for the spoiler or whatever that is. That Williams one, it leads into it instead of the other ones where it leads into the spoiler and then into.
The Williams has arrows facing forward, so it goes quicker, like a speed
faster.
Boost.
But there you go. That's gonna be a fun season to watch. I was 100%
That would be
right.
the best season. If the three, like, ignoring Haas, the three worst teams somehow, like...
Yeah. But yeah, from that, I wanted to quickly touch on... We need social media account... media account... By the way, we have community posts. Do you know we have community posts? We have community posts. I don't really want to post anything on there.
I can post some bangers.
I mean, it's better off if we post, like, I guess, if we post actual, you know, car news stuff. Oh,
that's cringe.
I mean, we gotta, I mean,
where's my top takes and bottom takes, me when a Ferrari meme? I don't know.
You know, me when I leave the
me when Latifi, and it's like, yeah, me when...
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we need social media accounts for the podcast is what we need. But I would have to... I mean, what, could I just repost the articles from the things? Could I just do that?
Yeah.
I'll link them and be like, from Car and Track, from Road and Car Wow, or
There's
whatever.
There's gotta be a bot that auto...
Yeah. And a Twitter account and all of those will be made. Let's be honest, podcast needs to be a little bit bigger first, and then we'll get around to that, but we'll probably make the accounts to have them. Monetized too, so... we can start doing the weekly content.
I've got to pay for my F1 TV subscription somehow.
Exactly. But yeah, so we're going to be sorting that out. Subscribe, watch the podcast. This is your cue to watch it again for the next...
rewatch it again.
We'll say...
Comment Williams is going to win 2023. Williams will improve, at least, please.
Whoa. AlphaTauri's going to win. Come on
It's going to be a close fight.
Exactly. But yeah, comment... AlphaTauri wins F1 2023
or
the
Williams
game, and
depending on your team.
Exactly. And watch podcast 18 times because that's next episode.
23 because the number on the
because it's the year
Williams. Oh, that
yeah. But unless it's against YouTube's terms of service, in which case don't do that. But that's going to be about it for this episode of the Stick Drift Podcast. We'll see you boys next episode. Bloody subscribe. Get us to 1,000. We are we're like within 30, I want to say. So yeah, there you go. Was that a Williams reference? No.
Comment Williams aero department actually make a functioning car. I don't know.
There you go.
Please, I beg.
That's about it from us in a bit.